Oh, hello everybody. Welcome back to the news desk here on VGLosers.com, part of the Pop Culture Network. This is your video game news desk here, and let's get talking about some of the big stories in games this week. First up, Video Games Plus Canada. For all our Canadian friends out there, or people who just like using Canadian websites, VideoGamesPlus.ca has investigated a security issue. They believe usernames, passwords, things like that have been stolen from their website. If you have used that website, it's probably a good idea to change your password. And even if you don't remember using that website, it's probably a good idea to just change your passwords on a regular basis. That should be pretty common knowledge for most people, but apparently it's not. People like my aunt who used the same password for about 10 years, I think. It's time to update, get something new. A new report says that Zynga is having major problems struggling with new games. Basically, Cowen and Company, a financial analysis group, has pointed out that new games such as Hidden Chronicles or Scramble with Friends are having a problem getting the daily active user count compared to previous games such as Castleville or Empires and Allies. They can't get the same amount of interest generated. Now, Zynga, of course, best known for games like Farmville, Cityville, Words with Friends, things like that. And they are going public and selling stock and all these big deals. They've been called the future of social gaming. They own Facebook gaming, basically. They make a lot of money, but it looks like newer games are having a hard time catching on. I myself, I used to play a lot of Farmville, played a lot of Mafia Wars, and I've really gotten away from them the last year or so. I just don't play them at all anymore. And it looks like a lot of these games, especially the ones that are iPhone only, are having a hard time holding on. Next up, Capcom has been doing a new viral ad campaign for the next Resident Evil game. This is called the No Hope Left viral ads, where basically they are tagging with graffiti the term No Hope Left, and the O looks like the biohazard symbol. Now, there are some people who are not quite convinced that this is for Resident Evil, but it now looks that Capcom is behind the ads. So whether or not it's Resident Evil, it is Capcom. I don't think Mega Man is going to be doing this kind of viral advertising. A new patch for Star Wars, The Old Republic, is causing some major problems. It had its standard bug fixes and tweaks here and there, but it seems to cause a major problem with the planet Ilum, I guess is how you pronounce that, where basically Valor, which is, kind of their hit point stats, I don't know exactly how you'd explain it, how their experience points, whatever. Valor, you can get Valor very easily on this map by spawn camping, shooting these turrets that immediately come back. Players who have different factions, the bigger size faction can just kind of come in and just keep attacking. Smaller factions just can't get in there and do anything. They're getting obliterated, and the bigger factions can just rack up all of these points. It's causing a major problem. BioWare has said that there will be a new patch coming out. As the time of this recording, it has not come out yet, but hopefully it will be out soon to help everybody out. PlayStation Vita, on the other hand, is DOA in Japan. Hasn't even come out here yet, and they're already calling it a massive failure overseas. Basically, the PlayStation Vita, first 2 days on the market, sold about 325,000 units, which is respectable, but not very great. However, since that point, from December 19th through January 15th, they've sold only about 176,000. So just about half as many units have come out since then. That is not a good sign. The 3DS, as you know, a lot of people have made fun of it. They said it hasn't really taken off like it should. It's not as popular as it should be. They had to do that price cut in order to keep people interested. Well, as it turns out, the Vita is much, much worse. It is a much better system, a nicer system. It plays higher caliber of games. It's also more expensive. It has a terrible ad campaign in Japan, and it's just not taking off. And finally, This is for all the bronies out there. There's a new mod for Skyrim that if you play on the PC, you can download this patch, which will turn all of your dragons into My Little Ponies. That's right. You can ride a pony all the way through that game. Now, whether or not this is a good idea, or whether this will achieve some sort of critical mass has yet to be seen, but I know there are a lot of very passionate My Little Pony fans out there. A little too passionate sometimes, I think. Just gets a little weird out there. But anyway, you guys don't forget we have a new episode of the Video Game Losers coming up next week, Monday night here on the Pop Culture Network. We've got voicemail to answer. There's a fan corner thread in the forums, so if you want to leave a question for us, you can go ahead and do that. Right now, we've got it broken down episode by episode where people can ask their questions. We may just open an all-purpose thread and just let them, build up in one thread. We haven't decided, but that means that, yes, folks, there is a forum for the Video Game Losers. If you want to come to vglosers.com, click on the forums, join the Pop Culture Network forums, you can do that right then and there and have a wonderful, swell time with more video game fans. And finally, folks, one last piece of news. February 29th, 2012 is, in fact, Tron Day all over the world. Now, I've said Tron Day. It's a day to talk about Tron, tweet about Tron, play Tron, put Tron pictures in your signatures, do whatever, just to get Tron recognized and out there and people talking about Tron. And some people said, what about Voltron? Voltron has Tron in it. Sure, why not? What about Megatron or Cybertron? Sure, why not? Go ahead. What about Genghis Tron? You want to talk about Genghis Tron? I don't know who that is. Apparently he makes music or something, but go ahead. Why not? What about Shudo Tron Karate? I think they're making fun of me now, but hey, why not? Go ahead and talk about it. Whatever. As long as it's about Tron. And don't forget, folks, Tron, in fact, a video game came out last year. You guys should play it. Didn't get great reviews, but it gets great reviews from me because I own this on the PS3, the 360, the Wii, the DS, the PSP, the PC. If I can find it on any other platform or port it to any other platform, I'll buy that too. I've got a game on my Android phone. Just Tron. Just remember that. Tron Day 2012. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.